We're going to practice, first of all, in a way that you can put your one hand on your chest and put the other hand on the abdomen. Okay? So with this first exercise, what you'll do is you'll just watch your hands. Okay, so take a look at your hands and just breathe. But I want you to watch the hands while you're breathing and just notice if one hand is moving more than the other. Don't try to manipulate the breath, or just watch the hands. You don't even need to think about your breathing. Yeah, good. Okay, so notice how you feel as you watch your hands and watch the hands move. And note how your body feels. And now we're going to count aloud the breath, okay? Well, actually, you don't even have to count the breath. You can just count to 10. If you want to count with the breath, you can do that, okay? And count out loud. And while you're doing that, watch your hand movement in response to your counting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Good. Now notice how you're feeling. Okay, so very simple. All we did was watch the hands, and then we would count to 10 aloud. I don't have to think about the breathing, we're just watching how the hands respond. Okay, so that's the first one. Make sure you pay attention to how your body feels as you're doing it. What's that general overall feeling when you're doing this practice? So we're just going to try counting to 3, and we'll do that again, okay? So I'll do it with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so it's not even necessary to count the breath, okay? All right, so that's your first thing, is just to watch the hands and count out loud. The second one that we're going to do is we're going to keep the hands in the same place, but this time we're not going to focus on the hands, okay? So we're going to focus on the breathing. And we're also not going to count out loud, but we are going to count the breaths to ourselves. Okay, so we're going to count to 10 in the same way. But first, before we start counting, let's just feel the breath. So you can relax your eyes and focus deep inside. Feel your breath rising and falling. Notice how your breath feels now compared to how it felt when you were doing the first practice. You can look at your hands and just watch your hands moving in response to your breathing without really concentrating on your hands at all. Notice how you're feeling. And now we're going to begin counting the breaths. So an inhale and an exhale would be counted as 1. Allow yourself to breathe naturally. Count to 10. Okay, so I'm not sure where you are with your counting, but I've done 10. Okay. So what you might notice, even just you're watching that or you're feeling yourself, is now what we've done is we've counted a lot slower. And you may have noticed, or not, there's no rights or wrongs, but you may have noticed now the breath has become much longer and much deeper. And you can feel the breath perhaps maybe filling the whole body, or maybe it's coming from one place or another. It's your breathing. There's nothing right or wrong, as I say, but you're going to notice that, and you're going to also compare how you feel while you're doing that compared to the first time where we concentrated on the hands and we were speaking. Okay, so they should feel different, whatever that way it is. Good? Okay. So that's called natural breathing, when you just relax and allow your breath to do whatever it needs to do as it feels it needs to do it. So now I'm going to change it up just a little bit and add the concentration of the mind. Okay, we haven't done that yet. We were just kind of paying attention, but we didn't actually use any kind of mental direction. So with this third type of natural breathing, we're going to place the hands again back on the body. Okay, you can still relax, so this is very much like number 2, only now when you breathe in, just imagine you're inhaling, breath all the way down to the abdomen, to the bottom of the body, and when you exhale, it's coming back up and coming out through the nose. Okay? So we're just adding that little bit of concentration. Inhale down to the bottom of the body, and exhale out through the nose. And again, you're just going to feel how the body responds to that. We're not going to count, well actually we are going to count. We're going to count about 5 breaths here to begin with. Okay, and you just want to keep that counting as long, along with that just general visualization of the breath coming in and out. Okay, so we'd count to 5 to yourself. And that for me would be 5, okay? So slightly different again, right? So everything that you add to it adds another element of experience. So again, use those practices to paying attention to the breath, what it does, how it feels, and which one do you like? Which one makes you feel more comfortable and more awake or energized or relaxed or whatever it is that you'd like to feel. So we do that experimentation first off, okay? So by practicing the breath. So that was basically deep abdominal breathing. There's one that I like to do lying down for me because that is similar to this, but you'll notice one thing different when you lie down, okay? So if you don't mind just lying on the ground, okay, just for a few moments. So everyone can do this, placing the hand on the chest and the hand on the abdomen. If you're more comfortable with the knees up, you can do that, doesn't matter. But I want you to just imagine that you're floating on a blue ocean. Relax as much as possible. So first concentrate on relaxing. Dropping down your shoulders. Relaxing down your elbows. Relaxing your hips, your back, your knees, and your feet. Make sure all the parts of the body are relaxed, and then now you can focus on your breathing. Just breathe naturally, as if you were just lying in your bed and ready to go to sleep. And bring your awareness to your hands. And notice if one or both hands are moving and which one it is and where it is. Count 3 breaths while you're doing that. Okay, very good. All right, so that's it. So this is a natural, relaxed breathing. Would you like to share what you noticed there?
It's relaxing. I think when I'm lying down, I breathe more from here than from here.
Right.
When I'm standing up, it's a little more.
Ah, good. Yes. Okay. That's what I noticed too.
Yeah.
Maybe not everyone notices that, but generally that's the normal response. So when you are very relaxed, we do what is called a Buddhist breathing. We call it Buddhist breathing, where you breathe naturally into the lower abdominal area. So that is when you're lying down, it's most easy. Your chest hardly moves at all, so your belly's going to rise and fall. We also can call that, you can come up if you like, diaphragmatic breathing. Okay, so the diaphragm is moving up and down, sucking air into the lungs fully, expanding the abdomen, and then rising back up, pushing the air out. This is natural abdominal breathing, but very deep for relaxing. So when you're doing meditation, you're sitting meditation, then you will be doing that kind of Buddhist breath, we call it, or otherwise deep abdominal breathing. So when you're sitting, the chest will, of course, rise up a little bit because you need some chi to sit up or stand up if you're standing. But when you're lying down, you actually don't need to breathe into the chest at all. Okay, so far that is deep abdominal breathing. There are two kinds. There's the Buddhist and then there's the Taoist. So with the Taoist, that one is the reverse of Buddhist breathing, and this one's a little more tricky. So there are some precautions that you want to be aware of when you're doing Taoist reverse breathing, is that it tends to drive, condense energy and drive your energy upward. It's used for power. So we use it for power training in martial arts, to bring a lot of chi to the extremities, etc. It should never be done all the time. It should be just done as a practice and then incorporated into something like martial arts, or where you really want to use the mind to drive chi to the extremities of the body. So with this one, it's a little tricky, so it does require some practice and it's more advanced. But just to experience how difficult, or maybe not, it might be, is to place your hand again on the chest and the abdomen. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do to get a sense of what it's like is to imagine you're going to blow up a balloon from the start. So you know that's not easy, right? So you have to use a lot of force to get that air into the balloon. All right, so I'm going to just keep your hands there. Pay attention to the movement of your hands while you do this. Take a breath in and get ready to blow up your balloon, right? Just use your mind and pretend that you have a balloon here. So far, so good? Okay. Try that again for me. I'm just going to watch for a moment. Perfect. One more time. A little harder now. Like it's hard to blow this balloon up. So I want you to get a little more force for me, okay? Good. Okay. So what I'm noticing is that you're using the chest to give you power, which is, it works that way. Maybe you'll practice something that has expanded your chest or made it very elastic. But I'm going to tell you to do something a little different, and you tell me which one feels a little more better. It's no right or wrong. Just tell me which one you think might work better. Okay? Okay? So, in the first one, you had your chest come up and you're into the chest, and then your chest dropped down as you exhaled all the air out. So now what I would like you to do is when you breathe in, pull the lower abdomen in. It happened the first time you did it. I saw your abdomen come in, but then you went up into the chest. Okay, so without going into the chest, let the chest relax. Inhale, pull the abdomen in, and when you exhale to blow up the balloon, let the abdomen go out as if you're expelling your energy not only through your mouth but through your abdomen.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah, a little tricky. Okay, yeah, just relax. Yeah, remember the balloon. Think about the balloon. Good. Now push the abdomen out as you blow the balloon. Very good. Yes. Let's try that again. Perfect. How does that feel? A little different?
Yeah, that would take practice.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And probably because you're not really blowing a balloon up.
Yeah.
If you were, you might revert to using the abdomen a little bit more. So when you're in your head thinking, it tends to raise the breath up into the chest. But when you're actually doing something, it tends to put it down here a little more. So now if you had to push something very heavy, like a car, all right? Let's pretend the wall is a car. All right, so just turn around here and put your hands on the wall. Okay, now imagine you have to push that, yeah, you have to push the car. Good, yeah, so you're breathing in, you're exhaling on your push, right? Good, okay.
The power has to come from here.
The power does have to come from there. Yes, it's called your lower Dan Chen, and it's your source of physical power. So there's one thing that you're doing which you probably wouldn't do if you were really pushing something heavy, which is you're leaning into it like this. See that? Okay. You're actually dissipating the force that goes out by leaning into it. So if you really had to push the car, you would have to kind of get down into your legs. All right, now one sec. Yeah, you don't need to lean. Okay, just drop into your legs and straighten up there. Yeah. Get a little closer to the wall. Yeah, put your toe there. Okay, so now put your hands on the wall. Now we're going to push the lower back backwards like that. Tuck your sacrum up. That's it. Now we've got power coming from the lower Dan Chen. So now you're going to relax and breathe in. Pull your abdomen in. Push out. Push. Push into your hand. That's good. Feel that? Yeah. Inhale again. Pull abdomen in. Relax. Push abdomen out. Push. Good. Yes. Okay, so that's power. That's power breathing. So when you do develop that power, there is a lot of it, but what it does is that kind of reverse breathing tends to raise the blood pressure up, and it can sometimes make the heart race a little bit. So you do have to be careful. When you're doing it, it should only be used for natural things. Like I say, if you did have to blow up a balloon or push a car, you would feel much better if you breathed that way. But for general, normal breathing, you wouldn't. Okay? So understand that. That's power breathing. So those are some of the main types of breathing that we use in Qigong, but most of the time, for healing purposes, we're using natural deep abdominal aspiration or tonic breaths. And the reverse breathing is when we want to push qi out to the extremities. So I'm going to end this session with a little exercise where you can practice and see again how you feel when you do these two types of breathing with this exercise, which is just a basic push, but in a relaxed way. Okay? So you're going to take your hands up in front and just stand with your feet apart. Okay. So now imagine that when you just breathe naturally. Okay? So when you inhale, bring your hands in. Just bring your hands into the body, and then you're going to exhale and push your hands forward. And sink down into your legs as if you're pushing something a little bit heavy, but relaxed. Good. Inhale, come back up. That's right. Relax. Exhale, push forward. So just use your natural breathing and see how it feels. Now we're using the deep abdominal breathing, natural. So inhale down, exhale out through the nose. Yeah, okay, we'll do a couple like that. Inhale to your dantian. Exhale down out your nose. You can be gentle, you don't need to force. Just relax, good. And now we're going to use the reverse breathe in. So when you pull your hands in, you'll pull your belly in. Remember to keep the chest relaxed, okay? Pull belly in. Push belly out. Exhale. Now do this without force, okay? Just focusing on the belly in gently and out. If you force it, you're going to not feel too good, okay? So just relax in a little bit. Push out. Okay, so when you're breathing in, what's happening is you pull the belly in and your chest goes down. Everything gets sucked into the center core. When you exhale, it goes in all different directions. It goes down to the feet, it comes out to the hands, so the extremities, and it also comes forward out and it goes back and out. So we call that, actually there's 6 directions. 8 more, but that's more advanced. So it's like everything is being sucked in on the inhale, pull the belly in, and then it's exploding on the exhale. Yeah? So that might be something that you can do. We try it again. So pull into the center and push out to the feet, the hands. Yeah. Inhale inside, center, exhale, push out. Good. Now when you inhale, imagine you can inhale into the pores of your skin. Open up the pores of your skin, the legs, the body, and inhale. Your breathing is now, instead of coming in through your nose, going to come through your skin into the center and going to exhale out the skin. Same reverse breathing. Inhale from the skin, pull belly in, exhale, push out the skin, push out the belly. Beautiful. Good, now relax, do it again. Very nice, and slowly drop your hands. Just pay attention to how you feel now. Different breathing experiences, right? Different types of feelings from those different types of breathing. I'll just let you be with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so that's our first session.